Okay, this is my post-fight video for Amir Khan versus Luis Collazo. Wow. Just listening, just reading the comments on this particular post-fight video. Oh my god. It's like all this Amir Khan army are coming out saying, "Oh, you got it wrong, you got it wrong, you got it wrong." Yeah, I got it wrong. But a whole heap of other people got it wrong as well. But let me focus on me. You're on my channel and you want to hear my response. So here it is. Now, let's get something straight first and foremost. Those of you who are new to my channel, thank you so much for watching, tuning in. I'm sure it's going to be entertaining for you. Now, for those of you who are regulars to my channel, you know if I get it right, if I get it wrong, I'm back here. My face is looking at you and will tell you. So, I got it wrong. Like I said, a lot of people got it wrong. I based my prediction on what I'd seen of Amir Khan in his last two fights, or a history of Amir Khan in big fights where he leaves himself open, leaves his chin in the air and gets it knocked off for him. I've seen him do some crazy things in the ring, which also make him very exciting. Now, let's first say congratulations to Amir Khan for putting on a world-class performance, and that's what it was. Never said Amir Khan never had great hand speed. Never ever said that. I always say he had blown hand speed. Always said it was exciting to watch. I said the reason why it was exciting to watch because you never know what's quite going to happen with Amir Khan, and his chin is his vulnerability. Everybody can see that. I said that since he's turned pro, he's never had a proper trainer in his corner, and Freddie Roach was probably the worst thing that happened to him because, you know, Amir Khan knew how to attack, but his defensive game was always the problem, and that's why the reason he kept getting knocked out, because he had a lack of a defensive game. And the two fights I saw with him against Diaz and Molina, he did not look impressive. Diaz was catching all night long with left hooks and right hands, and you know, Amir struggled in that fight. He did not look impressive. Now, a year out of the ring, a layoff can work two ways for you. You can come back into ring and look ring rusty. You can come back into ring and look great. The rest seems to have done Amir good. He seems to have filled that into 147. Who would have thought that? He's filled that into 147, and he boxed really well. He boxed really well. And you can see he's added facets to his game because he's actually listened to Virgil Hunter. So nobody can say that they predicted Amir Khan to go out, not come rushing out from the first round, box behind a sensible jab, use the right hand effectively, know when to throw punches, know when not to throw punches, when he's in trouble to tie up the way he did, to break Collazo's rhythm by tying up. Some people would call it excessively, but tactically, defensively, being defensively aware, he did what he had to do. So that is down to Collazo and the referee to deal with that incessant holding, if you want to call it incessant holding. But for Khan and for his boxing style, he needs to do that because he really has zero inside game, much like Vladimir Klitschko. But like I said, he kept him outside on the jab, used a sweet right hand when necessary, and did some good work when he had Collazo against the ropes. So those things were great. Those were fantastic things. Amir still did the things that are normal for him. When he sat down, he stayed in one position, put his hands up, and he allowed Collazo to catch him with the punches and hurt him. Now, if we go back and put the same Amir Khan that wasn't doing the holding like he did against Collazo and was breaking his rhythm, and put the same Amir Khan that fought the year beforehand, the Amir Khan that fought against Diaz, or the Amir Khan that fought against Molina, or even the Amir Khan that fought Garcia, or any of the Amir Khan fights previous to that, where he wasn't breaking the rhythm up of the fighter. If you'd done that stuff against Garcia, we'd probably seen a different fight. Now, no one could have predicted what Amir Khan did there, so you have to give credit to him for for listening to his trainer, because finally, in however many years he's been a boxer, as a pro boxer, he's got the message. He's understood. You can't just go throwing a whole heap of punches wildly and not expect something to hit you back. He's got the message. He knows now, you know, you go forward, you go back, you move to the sides. There's reasons when you throw your punches, when not to throw your punches. Amir Khan's not perfect. And I'm not going to sit down and tell you now that he's a pound for pound great. He still has flaws. He still doesn't know what to do when somebody attacks him and he tucks up like this. He doesn't know what to do and leaves himself vulnerable around the sides. So a big puncher, such as someone like a Thurman or Porter, we're yet to see how he responds to that. But he looked good at 147. Let's give him that against Collazo. Now let's look for Luis Collazo side of things. I don't think anybody could have predicted Luis Collazo would have looked so reckless in a fight. I mean, you're fighting against a guy that you know. We knew going into this fight that Collazo had much better hands. Khan had much better hand speed than Collazo, but he's fighting with his chin in the air and walking around the ring with no defense. And of course, Khan's picking him off with punches. And Collazo somehow is now, instead of putting his punches together, the time Collazo looked impressive was when he put his punches together. But there's very few times he did that, and when he did do that, he hurt Khan. Other than that, he's looking for the big left hand all the time and trying to load up and take Khan out of there. So I had no idea what Collazo was doing, and when he saw the referee wasn't doing what he wanted him to do, he should have made adjustments. Collazo has been a former world champion. He's got lots of experience. We didn't see that in the ring for whatever reason. And the third man we've got to talk about is Virgil Hunter. Oh boy. Oh boy, I have slammed Virgil Hunter so hard because I just saw him nothing more than a cheerleader. But on the night, he sounded spot on. He was telling Khan what to do. He was giving him precise instructions. And he was still saying a bit, you know, I believe in you, you can do it, man. He was still doing that smooth talking stuff. But there's less of that sort of like smooth talking stuff and more of the more definitive tactical strategy. And, you know, you could see a real bond shaping between Khan and Hunter. So that was really impressive. Really, really impressive. So the referee, what can you say? Could he have prevented Khan from holding so much? Yeah, he could have done that. He could have allowed them to be more action. Collazo could have got closer, but you know, I still think that Khan fought an excellent fight. He's arrived at 147. Collazo said he'd welcome Amir Khan into the welterweight division with open arms. Well, the only thing that was open was his head, and like I said, he boxed like a mug in that fight, to be honest, because like I said, no Collazo fan or Collazo supporter would have thought that Collazo would have fought like that. And let me clear this up finally. I never hate Amir Khan. I've always said he's an exciting fighter, but he's got a lot of flaws, and you just got to be honest about those things, that he has got flaws. He's not unbeatable, and you know, if somebody's going to criticize me and slam me for looking at somebody's past record and then bring it to the current fight and saying this is what I think because of what I've seen previously, then you're a bloody idiot. You're a fool, because at the end of the day, you come in and judge somebody on what they've done, and throughout Khan's career, you can't give me one fight that he's boxed like that. Not one fight in his career he's boxed as good as that, as good as that, you know. And I would say that what's the guy he beat to win the world title the first time round? Oh, I can't remember the guy he beat the first time. The first guy he beat for the world title was nothing more than a plodder. This guy Collazo, you know, he was a switch hitter. He had some punch power, you know, but he boxed like a mug, like I said before. So it's a shame, because I think that could have been a really interesting fight had Collazo brought his A game. I don't know what game he brought. I think he may have thought and got excited at the fact he knocked Luis Collazo. He knocked out Ortiz. That suddenly now he's the big puncher in the world, and decided he could just knock Khan out with one punch. So there's my post-fight. Congratulations once again to Amir Khan. It's great news for the Brits, the UK fans, because they now have another world-class. They have a world-class fighter who's mixed at the best, at the top level, who has improved. I didn't think Amir Khan would improve based on his previous lack of paying attention to the game plan. Let's be honest, if he paid attention to the game plan in fights, who knows, he may still be world champion to the day. I shall leave it as that. I think that if you've got a weak chin, or your chin is suspect, the best thing you can do is do the best you can to protect it. Amir Khan is now doing that. He done it in this last fight. Whether I would go as far, like again, as to say that he would be a Thurman or a Porter, that remains to be seen. The fight I would like to see now for Amir Khan is Kell Brook. If Kell Brook does not go ahead and fight Porter, then let's get that fight on. It'd be a good fight. Yeah. Let me know what you guys and girls think out there. I'm out.